The worker was about to turn off the machine and finish his shift, when suddenly the hatch door got stuck. In order to avoid being scolded by the supervisor and having his wages deducted, he broke the rules and squeezed himself inside. Just as the man moved the tray, the hatch door closed automatically. Inside, it was releasing deadly high-intensity radiation. Only after the machine completed all the procedures did the hatch finally reopen. The robot, like carrying an item, pulled the dying Max out. Although his life was temporarily saved, the deadly radiation caused disastrous organ failure in his body, and he would die in 5 days. However, the wealthy boss, upon learning about the accident, did not offer any treatment or compensation for Max. Instead, he complained that Max had dirtied the factory's bedsheets, and only gave him 5 days worth of painkillers, telling him to get out of the factory quickly. Max saw everything in despair. After leaving the factory, Max staggered back to the slums, not wanting to die. He knew the only way to survive was to go to Elysium, where the medical chamber could treat him and save his life. So, accompanied by his friend, Max found a top hacker. The hacker could help poor people forge Elysium citizenship, and even smuggle them to the space station on a spaceship, but his services were very expensive, and Max had no money. So, he hoped to board the ship on credit. The man laughed in anger right away, but when he learned that Max only had 5 days to live, his attitude immediately changed. He offered to give Max a free ticket, and even provided free meals for the round trip. As an exchange condition, Max had to help him with something that most people wouldn't dare to do. Although he understood the task would be difficult, it was the only way for him to regain a new life. Seeing Max finally agree, the man stated the condition. It turned out he wanted to rob a rich man, who was on a business trip to Earth, and extract all the data stored in his brain, to decrypt his bank passwords and gain immense wealth. But Max's body was in terrible condition. How could he possibly have the strength to catch someone? The man was prepared for this. He had his subordinate take out a steel exoskeleton. Once equipped, it would make Max strong. Looking at the exoskeleton that fit perfectly with his arm, Max felt his body filled with unprecedented strength. Without delay, Max set off with his friend.